Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We're going to have an interesting show for you guys today. We have Harley Wallen and Jan Birch coming on to talk about their new film, and possibly Lorene Landon, if she gets back from the driver's license place quick enough, is going to call in also. Should be a lot of fun. In the meantime, well, let's say hi to everybody, and I'll start off with my unfortunately sick, cool, outrageous man about town host, Mr. Ron Russell. I'm all messed up too. I'm sick too.
It got me. Jimmy had it. He's been sick for like 2 weeks.
He still got it.
I was doing good. Now I've got it. So today, don't expect too much from me, folks. I can't see. I can't hear. My hearing, I guess my head cold is so bad that it's clogging every fucking hole. Anyway, I'm going to do my best because, like they say, the show. What are you pulling hairs off my mic? Where was this mic, Jimmy?
I don't know. I don't have those kind of hairs.
So, I forgot what I was saying already.
Oh, there's a little dog.
Oh yeah, whoever the hell said the show must go on was crazy. He didn't have a head flu. As to where these flus are coming from, I don't know. But I wrote this morning on Facebook that back in 1940, when I was a kid, in the 50s when I was a teenager, in the 60s when I was a grown-up, we didn't have all of these flus. We would get sick occasionally. Now it's twice a year, 3 times a year. Why? Because of the jet plane. I read that many years ago. Before the jet plane, people didn't fly very much. They had not even a third of the airplanes that we have flying now. Most people did ocean liners. They went to Europe by boat and came back. And you were quarantined if you were sick. There was a control over who came into our country and what germs they have. Now we have diphtheria, tuberculosis, all these diseases that we got rid of years ago.
And now we got
They are being brought in by foreigners who come to visit our country or come to stay in our country. We need to have some kind of a quarantine again. There has to be some kind of a place where people can be inspected to see if they're sick. And if they're sick, they have to go somewhere and get help and not spread their germs. And now with this new thing, the Chinese, what is it called? The corona?
I don't even know. The corona flu?
The corona flu is killing people. That they said is because rats were fed to... I think it was lambs or chickens or something, and the rats had the disease, and the disease went into the lamb or whatever, and the people that ate in a certain restaurant in China became ill, and they're spreading it. So I think we have a very, very major crisis here about germs and what's going on. We need to have better health. Healthcare in this country stinks. We need to get the healthcare people to clean it up. People on the streets that are urinating and defecating on the sidewalks are causing germs, causing disease. This is unhealthy. We are living in sewers now. That's what the streets have become in LA, sewers, because of the homeless. I feel bad for everybody, but I also feel bad for myself and my children and Jimmy, that we have to live among all this garbage, dirt, and
we actually have it the best
crap.
in Palm Springs.
Well, it's good in Palm Springs, but we were at Jimmy wanted to go to Wendy's, and we went to Wendy's, and 2 homeless people were eating in Wendy's. Yes, I think it's nice that they ate in Wendy's, but no, if they have lice, I don't want lice on the chair, and then I sit there and I get the lice. This is my point. They're not clean. They don't shower. They smell. They're dirty. And they're sitting next to me, and I want to throw up.
And we need to do something
So
about
you know
it.
what, folks? I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of kissing ass, of feeling sorry for people. I'm starting to feel sorry for me because I don't know America to be this way. Years ago, it was different. If you were a homeless person, you were brought to a foundation or some sort of a facility where you were given drugs and taken care of. Today, homelessness has become a joke. It's become another way of living.
You should see it in L.A., you guys. You really have
If
no
you saw
idea.
L.A. tents all over the streets, I mean,
on the sidewalk.
It's gotten to be out of hand. It's totally ridiculous. It's offensive to us. We taxpayers that pay money to live in these cities. I mean, garbage men don't even come around with a street cleaning machine anymore to pick up the crap in the gutter. Anyway, that's why we're all sick, because we live in a filthy environment of germs that God knows where they came from.
So hold on, let's say hi to everybody.
No, I'm not saying hi to anybody. I'm feeling sorry for me.
Don't feel sorry. You look beautiful, by the way. In the chat room, they say for someone who's sick, you look so amazing.
Yeah, well, if you had as much makeup on as I had, you'd look gorgeous. So I told Jimmy, do I look like a corpse?
Let's say hi, though. Come on, hold on.
No, I'm not saying hi to anybody.
Okay, well, I'm going to say hi. So we want to give a shout-out, first of all, to the fabulous Danielle, which we have not heard her voice yet. She's at the W4CY studios in Wellington. Hello, Danielle.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you go. Then we got the super terrific Scotty J in Philadelphia. What's up, Scotty J?
Yo, guys.
There you go. Stefan Bell is in. He's on the phone. He said he's there. So what's up, Stefan? We got a chat room full of people. Dave Hughes from Stars Now UK. Eileen Shapiro. Hello, Eileen. Teresa Sabin. Cindy Ladylake. Hello, hello. It's going fast and I can't see everybody that's in there. Dave Hughes, Teresa. Anyway, you guys, we're going to have a fun show for you today. We had an interesting weekend. We went to a cool Oscar party. I mean, not Oscar. Oscars is coming up. We went to a cool pre-Grammy party Friday night. Ron worked the red carpet and interviewed some of the cool people. And probably the coolest one that we got to meet is someone who's been a friend of mine for 15 years. And her name is Tracy Young. She's the DJ who married Madonna. And I actually did a music video with her and Joya Bruno for Expose back in the day. And so we talked to her. Ron got to meet her and interview her. And then Sunday night, she won a Grammy for Best Producer, Best Remix of a Madonna song. First female ever in the history of the Grammys to win that.
And what's not wonderful is she's gay and she's gay family. And I'm happy and proud to announce that she's family.
That's right. So that was a really cool thing. We also met some cool actors from Game of Thrones. I don't know. We met a lot of cool people. It was a lot of fun. Ron was actually running around interviewing the bigger people that were on the red carpet that showed up. He looked gorgeous.
They were spreading germs, I bet. They were spitting all over my face when they were talking to me, hitting me with flu germs. Really, I think I'm going to wear a mask from now on, like all the Chinese people do there. Except I was told by a doctor, those masks are only good for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, they no longer function. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, you have to change them every 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's bullshit. I mean, we're not going to walk around with a box of masks now. But seriously, when you're in our business and you're out there with all the people, touching, holding, hugging, and that kissing crap has got to go. Everybody kissing me on the lips like I was their mother. No way. Get out of there. No more kissing, handshaking now. From a distance, because kissing and you're spreading viruses and germs.
That's true.
That's how come I got sick. I don't know if I caught it from Jimmy because he was sick, but I had nothing to do with Jimmy. I stayed away from him. I made him go on the other side of the bed. And,
yeah, we haven't been near each other, but I'm still sick. I've still got the bronchitis.
Yeah, so enough about sick.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about
Anyway, that event was okay. The music was so goddamn loud.
It was terrible, though.
Why do these young people think that upping the amp and blowing out the speakers is what we want to hear? You know, there's such a thing as obnoxious. And that music at that affair was obnoxious. Every one of them were obnoxious. They were saying, hear me, screw you, don't talk among yourselves. I'm going to make it so that you're going to hear me whether you like it or not. And I didn't like it. And I made a comment about it to these superior people, and they agreed. The uppers of that affair said the same thing. No one could speak.
Luckily, they came in and out, so they did it for 15 minutes, and then they stopped, and then they did it.
Yeah, but when they stopped, they played Frank Sinatra. They played normal music that was delicious and nice, and we were able to chat. But then they came back on screaming. Why must they scream? Do they call that singing today? Screaming like they're being raped. Ugh. I hate to be like an old bag. You know, old people used to talk this way years ago about jazz and about rock and roll. And I think I'm becoming one of them. Except rock and roll was good. It was nice. You can understand it. You can hear it. You could sing to it and dance to it. But this crap of today, you can't hear the lyrics. All you hear is a...
That's just in the rock, though.
And they all have that same gutter voice. Like they're choking on a pubic hair.
That's hilarious. So we also... How many people actually watched the Grammys? We didn't watch it. I watched a few minutes of it. Some of the people that won I liked. Some of the people that won I didn't like. I talked with Cece Hendricks about it, our guest from 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about different people. We're going to have her come back on in another month or so because she was so much fun. And I want to thank everybody who's been listening to us on iHeartRadio because we were the top 100 podcasts on iHeartRadio again. So that's 5 times out of the last 10. We've been in the top 100 podcasts out of 750,000 podcasts in the world, so thank you so much. Also, Billy Hess just joined us in the chat room. What's up, Billy Hess? And so did Bruce Glasgow from Texas. Billy, what's up?
Hi, Billy. How do you feel, honey? Is your back okay? Did you go to another spa to fix your back, baby? Because Billy has a bad back. God only knows why. So he goes to spas and gets a lot of massages.
There you go.
Right, Billy?
Eileen says she didn't watch it. She didn't watch the Grammys. She's on a plane. A lot of people didn't actually watch it.
You didn't miss anything, Eileen.
But Lady Lake said she liked Demi Lovato, and I agree. That was probably the best part of the whole night was Demi Lovato.
I looked at 2 minutes of it, and I said to Jimmy, I haven't a clue who any of these people are. Not a one. Well, of course, because when they were born, I was already 50, so come on. Anyway, not for me. There's just certain things that people my age just don't do. And that's like get involved with the young people today.
But you're involved with them all the time. You're making movies with them.
Yeah, my young people are different young people. They're not Grammy people. Eileen is with the Grammy people. She'll tell you everyone's name and every group and every piece of music they've ever made. And she's no chicken either. What is she, 50, 52, 53? Whatever. So she studied music because she loves Adam Ant. She goes all over the world traveling to be with Adam Ant because she's adoring him. She loves him to death. Why? I don't know. He's a skinny, ugly little thing. But anyway, she says each his own, to each his own.
So who's the little one that you would, if you were going to travel around following somebody, who would you travel around and follow? Yeah, I know you wouldn't, but if you would. So this is totally hypothetical because you would never do it anyway.
Well, if I had to follow someone because it was a law, I would follow Johnny Mathis because I adore the man. I've met the man 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I love him. He's kind, he's gentle, he's sweet. His music is beautiful. His voice is still gorgeous at 82 or 83 years old. And Johnny Mathis is a nice guy. He's okay.
Billy, yeah, I like Johnny Mathis. So Billy Hess says that he and Mark are coming out to see us for the Oscar party.
I know. I can't wait to see Mark. You, Billy, I've seen enough of already with the bad back, with the spa and the whole thing. My God. But Mark is a nice young man who's healthy and strong. He doesn't have a bad back, and he doesn't need to go to spas.
There you go. So just Lady Lake says she'd follow Stevie Nicks. Lady Lake's like Stevie Nicks.
Oh, my daughter Leslie
we just saw her there.
Stevie Nicks. I love Stevie Nicks. She's a favorite of mine. I would love to interview Stevie. I almost came to have her on my show years ago on Set the Record Straight. Interesting story. She wasn't with Fleetwood Mac at the time. I think she was separated or whatever, going on her own, and she wanted some publicity for her own singles. And I don't know what happened, but then she went back with Fleetwood Mac, and they didn't want to do it. So there was a whole bunch of bullshit with them. But, yeah, I like Stevie.
Absolutely. Also, they said you blew her cover, but no, Eileen, he didn't blow Eileen's cover.
How did I blow your cover?
I'm not sure. I like to follow Dorothy. Somebody.
What? It's a secret that you love Adam Ant? I mean, come on, it's all over the place.
Actually, one of our guests coming on today has done something with Adam Ant.
Yeah, probably his eye makeup.
No.
You can see the eye makeup Adam Ant wears. There's only one other person that looks like Adam Ant, my friend Danae Montague King. He could be Adam Ant's sister or brother. They look alike, and they wear the same amount of makeup. And when they do photographs, they clean the photographs up so much they look 12. Just the picture of Danae on Facebook. Oh, he's got nerve. I mean, this guy is 74 years old. He used the Photoshop. I mean, he took away every feature. All he's got is nostrils and eyeballs and looks 10. I can't believe it. Now, when you see him in person, you say that's not the same person. Anyway, who you fooling, folks? Show it like it is. Be honest. Come on. Nothing wrong with looking old and broken down. Look at me.
You're not old and broken down.
Yeah, right. Bullshit.
You look fabulous. Everybody in the chat room says how fabulous
100 years old. That's like, Kay Ballard said to me when I was interviewing her. She said, yeah, like when you're young, they all say you look beautiful. Then when you're middle-aged, they say you look good. And then when you're old, they say, oh, you look great for your age.
That's funny. That's actually true, though.
Yeah, it is true.
They do say that.
I look great for my age. If I were 40, they'd say I'm an ugly old fucking wrinkled bitch. But because I'm 137, they say, oh, you look good for your age.
It's so funny, too, because I talked to J.J. Catrone today. He showed up out of nowhere, unfortunately, which we want to.
JJ, what is going on with JJ?
Unfortunately, JJ's older daughter was killed by a drunk driver a month ago, and so they're gonna put together like a benefit concert for her, and he wants us to go to Tennessee and and MC the thing.
Oh my God!
So we will send prayers to JJ Catron and his family.
JJ, I'm so sorry. Oh, I really am. Oh my God! How old was she?
20. She was 20.
Oh, JJ. Oh, baby, what can I say?
They say your shirt matches your mug and that you look better than most men at 40.
Oh, fuck everybody. I'm not interested right now. JJ's daughter was killed in a car crash.
You guys remember JJ Catron? We've had him on the show numerous times.
I love JJ.
He's a great musician. He's retired, but he's coming out of retire for a benefit concert.
He promised me his full-length Fox coat to fuck, and he never gave it to me. But I'm in California now. I don't need it. But JJ Catron, he's just one of the nicest guys in the world. Why is this that we have to have such tragedy when people are so good? And he's a religious man, and he just got over an illness of cancer himself, fighting it. Why do some people get so much bad and some people get so much good?
I don't know. It seems like always the good ones are the ones getting the bad, which we want to welcome to.
I read an article on Facebook today about Liza Minnelli's mansion in Beverly Hills that she grew up in with Judy Garland and Vincent Minnelli, her father. And as the years went on, Minnelli died, the father, and he said that his then wife, who was no longer Judy Garland, should live in the house until she dies. Well, Liza Minnelli went and sold the house, and the poor old broad had nowhere to live.
That's terrible.
Well, that's Liza Minnelli. She's not the nicest person on the block. We all know that. So, people like that, I don't understand.
I don't either. So we want to welcome Backpack John. We got to call our guests. So Scotty J, how about we got to call Harley and Jan? I don't care who you call first. Let's just get them on the line as you can, and Ron and I will keep talking until we get them there.
All right.
JJ,
we need both of them.
Yeah, we need both of them.
JJ, if you're listening in, baby, I am so upset I can't breathe. I'm telling you the truth. This is the saddest news, JJ. You've had a shitload of bad luck in the last couple of 20 years or whatever. I just wish and pray everything gets better for you.
Absolutely.
I am so upset about this. Are we
He was
going
in good spirits, though.
Are we going to Tennessee?
We may go and post the benefit, yeah.
I would go. If we have the ability to go, we will go and do it. Host the benefit, definitely.
Yeah, it should be fun.
I can't believe this crap.
Look at Harley.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Harley? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Wow. Look
Don't
at you
ask.
with the beard.
You look good.
that's the thing right now, I guess. I don't know.
No, you look good, and I'm sure your wife loves it.
You look so butch.
No, my brother-in-law had a big, thick mustache like you've got, and he used to call it his pussy bumper.
Oh, wow. That's not a bad idea.
Men that grow beards, they like to rub their mustache and beards up and down the crotch of a woman, and the woman goes crazy from it. That's why we have so many guys with beards.
Here we go.
Now we've got Jan too.
Wait a minute. When I was going to hairdressing school, there was a fellow that had a beard, and in those days nobody had beards. So we used to say to him, "How come you have a beard?" And then he'd grab the hair on the bottom and he'd go sniff, sniff, because it reminds me of my girlfriend.
You gotta have a long one though to do that.
The soul patch.
Well, nobody had a beard back in 1960. Who had beards and mustaches? No one. Only like cavemen or people that lived in hermits, weirdos.
Now all the cool people do.
Look at you, Jan. Jan is here. And Harley, what a nice duo. Genius,
so hold on, let's introduce
genius
them.
And talent all over the place. Look at the two of them.
There we go. So all right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented superstars in entertainment. We've got Harley Wallen and Jan Birch. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, nice to be here. Yeah.
You're sitting in front of a sphere that makes you look like a Madonna with the halo around your head.
Yeah.
and I know that when you work, you play the furthest thing from a saint.
Well, I got to do whatever I can do here. See?
Yeah, he's trying to look good.
Yin his yang.
Right. And Harley, what genius have you done lately? What's coming out that we got to see
We're
that
going
we
to
love?
see next week to his premiere. That's why they're on.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I'm very ill right now. I have the most horrible flu in the world, so I'm doped up on what am I on?
He's on all kinds of like
Shit.
Yeah, shit.
So God knows what's going to come out of my mouth today. Be careful, boys.
So hold on, you guys. So we've got a chat room full of people. So
Wait,
each
meanwhile,
one of
shut
you
up.
guys say hi to the
How's
chat
your
room.
beautiful? How's your beautiful? I'm still talking to her.
I know, but we're gonna go
How's
back
your
to him.
beautiful wife?
Oh, she's fantastic.
Say hello to her and give her a hug for me. She's the nicest girl in the world. She really
Yeah.
is a sweet. She's shy, but she's a sweetie.
Yeah, no, she actually really enjoyed the show with you guys.
Yeah, she's a nice girl.
You guys set her at ease, and it sounded like you had a good time.
Oh,
We did,
absolutely.
and she's a damn good actress. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I didn't think so when I first met her at the lobby of the. I figured another tomato. Beautiful girl, married the producer. She got in the movies like me. I married the producer. I get in movies. I figured it was the same thing, but no, she really can act. She's a good actress and a
Yeah.
very beautiful.
Hey everybody,
girl.
we're talking about Katie Wallen, and we had
Yeah.
her on the show recently, and she's in the new film that
Yeah.
Harley and Jan are on promoting. It's called Agramon's Gate, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But we're talking about Katie Wallen, and in the meantime, Jan also has a beautiful wife.
Yes, who's a
and,
sweetie pie,
she's
shy
so-
little thing too.
She's gorgeous. They both have gorgeous wives, you guys. They
Yes.
both have like smoking hot
I think
wives.
I like
Must be
his
the
wife.
beard.
She has the beard. Well, that's okay. I won't even say it. But anyway, your wife. But I was going to say what she does with that beard, but we won't talk about it. But yeah, yawn,
Jan.
yawn, same thing.
Yeah.
I saw you at the last event. You weren't very friendly. Why?
I thought I was friendly to you. I'm always friendly to you. I don't know.
I went to, kiss you and stick my tongue in your mouth, and you pulled away. I couldn't imagine why.
I wonder why.
No, seriously, it was so nice.
Maybe it was the beard.
Yeah, it was so nice seeing you and your wife. It's always fun to go to these premieres to see the people that we really like a lot. As much as we have friends in Palm Springs that we're friendly with, I just feel my Hollywood friends are closer and more loving. My movie people. Maybe it's because we all share the same interest, the love of film, the love of acting, performing. The want to be directed by terrific directors, and not always so, except with this man. If we're directed by this man, we're happy. That's you with the beard.
Yeah, no, I thank you. I mean, I really fell in love with this directing gig, and I think I was telling Jan the other day when we were talking, the directing came secondary to my acting, and I never ever thought I was gonna love it the way I do. And now it's in me, and I can't shake it. I love it, and it's my fix now.
Yeah, but you were born. It was born in you. You have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Some
think you're right.
directors want to be directors, and they can't even direct traffic. But I see in you. I don't know how you direct. I've never worked with you, but I see your work. And I could tell a good director. I always tell Jimmy, when we go to films, I say the director sucks. Look what he's doing to this actor. He's put blindfolders on the actor, or he's got the actor not doing what the actor could do best. And I get angry. I get really furious.
Yeah.
I like a director that would say to me, Ron, give me all you've got, because I have a lot to give. If you hold me back, you're going to get a half a performance. And what's worse than a half a performance?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think the trick with directing is most of the time you want to get out of your own way. You want to trust that you cast the proper cast, and that they know their parts and they know what they're doing. And if they have a soft take or two takes, let them be. They know. You don't have to get on people. They know. And every now and then they may, step off and not have it. And you have to guide them back in, but it should always be gently, and the big picture of it should be very obvious.
Well, what I like to tell a director when I'm working is, I'm old school. I'm around for 58 years doing film. I investigate my character. I find out who my character is. I make my character almost human. My character lives in this house with this furniture. He does this. He's married to this woman. He's got these children. I actually create that person.
Yeah.
And I tell this to the director, do you like who I've invented, who I've created? And then they'll say to me, well, maybe he shouldn't be so sweet. Maybe he should be a little meaner. And then we both together cultivate the character.
Yeah.
It's called character development.
Yep.
That is something they don't do today in acting. They read lines, and I think that sucks.
Yeah.
Reading lines, anybody could do. That's not an actor. You must become the character. What do you think about that, my bearded love?
Which beard? Which beard?
Which beard? My beard?
Yeah,
I can tell you a little bit about.
I'm talking about Jan.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you a little about our working relationship, me and Harley. I really like the way he approaches, and I agree with you on all of your points. As that he is that kind of director. Actually, he actually obviously I come in as prepared as I want, but we also, before I come on set, me and Harley have had several conversations. From the first time I read the script, he wants to get my notes. He wants to see what I feel about the character. We discuss the character. Sometimes we have exactly the same idea. Sometimes he sees it a little different way. So then I know very early that to not push that particular part of the character as much as the part that he sees more, but all within the perimeters of my own creative inspiration. He lets you basically shape and mold it to some extent. For example, on Eternal Code, I had an idea of one specific scene, and I said to Harley, I think this is going to be quite emotional. And he said, well, let's try it. I don't see it that way right now, but let's try it. So we tried a couple of takes the way he saw it, and we tried a couple of takes a little more emotional. And I think the final cut, we ended up somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. There you go. It's nice to be able to talk to him, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a very good actor's director, in my opinion. And I work with a few. I mean, I work with a lot of directors, but I work with a few that are very dear to my heart, that really takes consideration of who you are as a person, besides only your character. I mean, I can mention like Wes Craven, Chuck Russell, Mark Pellington. I mean, they all go from your heart and see who are you and how can you bring yourself into this character the way I see the character. I think that's a major personality trait that Harley does have as a director, which I truly appreciate.
Not to blow smoke up or make a bullshit statement, Harley's films, to me, show something that no other films show. There's a quality of professionalism in the film. If the budget were $45, $50, $100, $200 million, the film would be far better than what it is. But for the budgets that you guys work with and the quality of work that Harley delivers, I would say that Harley is probably now the number one director in his field. I think you are, Harley. I really mean it. There's a quality in your films that nobody else has. It's you. You bring it to light. I know your wife, who's a good actress, who I saw in 2 films already. We talked about you, and she said the same thing that Jan just said. You've got to work. It's a team. Yeah. Nobody on set is a star. We are a team. Yep. The director is equal to the littlest actor. The extra is just as important as the director.
Amen.
Because without the extra, you don't have what you need. So we all have to work as a team in sync. We don't have any high and mighty superior directors that think who the fuck they are, and they say, I want it my way. That's how it was. That's how it's written.
Yeah, no.
Well, then do it yourself. You know.
I mean, I absolutely agree. I think the key thing when it comes to understanding directing is think about a puzzle. You're laying a puzzle, and that means that you have to have all the pieces. And the director's just one piece. There's just no bigger or smaller piece than anybody else. But the director controls that red herring that goes through the script that has to be adhered to so that the story stays solid and remains. And it's when you listen to the greats, when you listen to Scorsese and all these people, they understand all this. They understand that casting is done that way And Tarantino says 90% of directing is casting. All these things you should listen and try to not reinvent the wheel. Learn from the greats, and then add whatever it is that you personally bring that maybe is different from anybody else.
When I was 19, I was in a film with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter called That Kind of
Sophia
Woman.
Loren.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we were all directed by Sidney Lumet. And I watched Sidney work with Sophia and Tab, in other scenes. And the way he directed Sophia was difficult because Sophia was very uncomfortable working with Tab Hunter. She felt she needed an older man, that Tab Hunter, as the romantic interest, was too young. So she was self-conscious of her being so womanly with Tab. And Sidney just said to her, just remember, think like a teenager, he said. You're a little young girl. Picture yourself back in Italy, in Paluzzo, where you came from, and this is a big movie star. And she did, and they got the shot.
Yeah.
Now, I just worked with Judith Chapman. You know Judith Chapman, the soap opera queen?
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
Judith Chapman has been around for 100 years in every soap opera. And she directed me. Let me tell you, boy, what a thrill it was to be directed by a director who worked old school. She kept saying to me, Ron, I want this, I want that, I like this, let's lose that. How about you keep this? We got it in 3 shots. Perfect in 3 shots because we talked it over before the shot. Today, there's no time. We only have 10 days to shoot. Everybody places, let's go, read your lines, let's go, okay, next, who, and then who the fuck is doing what to who? I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's too fast. You got to develop and work a character. That's why Jan is a good actor, because Jan is what you call an introverted actor. He's not an extroverted actor. When Jan works, he works inwardly, and you feel what he projects. I, on the other hand, I'm an outward actor. When I work, I throw it out at you. You get a vomit from it or love it, one of the two. But Jan keeps it in, and he sort of projects it. Same thing with Sadie Katz, who I love and adore. I've worked with Sadie Katz. Sadie Katz, she knows how to contain it, and slowly she just lets it go out. I think there's some fabulous talent out there. Of course, my Lorene Landon is
Which we're going to talk about her because she's in this film.
Yeah.
I saw her in Churchill's film. She washed her face completely, not a drop of makeup. She played this disgusting, horrific, white trash, loudmouth, drugged up bitch of a wife. Now, those of you that know Lorene know she's the sweetest, quietest, most gentle dove. When I saw her on film, I said, wow, where the hell did she pull that out of her ass? I mean, look at her. She's a wicked, horrible woman. She's an actress. That's an actor.
So hold on, I want to go. First of all, I want to go to Jan for a minute because I feel bad. Jan, and this is the last time I'm ever going to ask you this. What is your wife's name? Is it Victoria?
Yes, it is.
It's Victoria. Okay. We always talk about
why didn't you ask me? I knew it.
I don't know. Well, you said Jan's wife. You didn't say Victoria, so I thought maybe you didn't.
Well, I don't know her that well.
Maybe there's more than one.
So hold on. So first,
I don't know her that well to be that familiar. So
I want to say hello to Victoria because we talk about her all the time, and we always refer to her as Jan's wife, which is incredibly rude. Victoria, we love you.
No,
it's not. You're fabulous.
Incredibly talented.
Yes. She's fabulous, and we love her to death. So, number one, I want to say hi to that. Number two, then, so we've got this new film. It's Agramon's Gate. It's having a premiere next Friday. Is it next Friday?
Yep.
Yes.
Next Friday at the Lumiere Music Hall in Beverly Hills. The name of the film is called Agramon's Gate. It's a horror mystery thriller. It's also coming on demand February 11th. It stars Jan Birch, Harley Wallen, Katie Wallen, Lorene Landon, and I always mention Calhoun Koenig because she's in all your films, and every film that she's in, she gets better and better and better. Like you're turning her into like a superstar.
Yeah, she did fantastic. She had a really nice guest star appearance on Law and Order. That anybody who haven't seen that should look up that episode. She did really, really well, and then she's definitely on her way. She was just on a list of top 40 Asian actors to look for on IMDb, and she was one of them, and absolutely deserves that. She she works her craft. She's very diligent about her studies, and I think, you know, when you put the work into it, the results will show. And that's how it is for all these people. When you really dig into your character, and like you said, Ron, when you become, you just can't take your eyes off of that when that's on screen. It's impossible.
So here's what everybody needs to do.
And research your character. Every actor out there, go and research your character. And please, if you're going to use a Brooklyn accent, learn it. Do not do those horrible Brooklyn accents. I'm from Brooklyn. My accent's natural. They hire me always to play a gangster from Brooklyn because I can do it well. So on one set, on a movie I won't mention, the guy there said, I don't have a Brooklyn accent. I said, no, but you're supposed to be a gangster. Let me teach you how to talk like a gangster. Well, I was going to kill myself because it came out like Shakespeare. You know, like over there, over there, you can get the gun and you can rob the bank. You know what I'm talking about? And he would say, over there, you get the gun, and I know what you're talking about. I said, no, that's fucking Shakespeare.
So hold on, I want to go back though. So okay, so you guys, the film is Agramon's Gate. If you go to YouTube, you guys, and plug it in, or just Google Agramon's Gate, it comes up because there's write-ups for it everywhere. It's winning all kinds of awards.
Oh, it's crazy.
In the film, you have to watch the trailer. You guys go to YouTube. It's AGRAMONSGAT.
Better still, buy the film. Screw the trailer.
Not out yet. It's not out yet.
When it comes out.
I know, but everybody needs to see the trailer because, first of all, you need to see Harley, first of all, because Harley doesn't look like this Harley. Harley does not look like this Harley. He's got scars all over his face and a big blind eye. And Jan, I guess Jan is Agramon. Are you Agramon?
Not to the same extent, to the same energy of a demon. But
Okay,
Calhoun is actually facing the Agramon. I'm basically Agramon going into a dead father's body, more or less.
I have no idea. I have no idea who Agramon is. Tell our audience. They're as stupid as I am, maybe. Who's Agramon?
It's the demon of fear. So essentially what happens is the demon shows up and then it spooks you and scares you, and it gets stronger until it can manifest, and then it can physically do you harm. So that's how it works. So Agramon is the demon of fear, and that's kind of how it operates, by strengthening off of those fears.
So Agramon opens his gate, obviously.
No, they okay, here's the thing.
What is the gate?
Agramon's Gate.
They open up Agramon's Gate, you guys, and in it, you guys got to see Lorene in the trailer. She doesn't have makeup on in this one either, and she's so fabulous.
Good. I love and adore her personally. She's one of my dearest and closest friends in the world. I'm crazy about her.
And you have to see Jan, you guys, in the trailer, because Jan is like a demon with the red eyes and like he looks. It's so funny to me because you always get cast to play like the really scary, like creepy people, and in real life you're like a supermodel kind of like guy that should like so far from all these roles that you get cast.
Jimmy, as Alfred Hitchcock said, it's called acting.
I know it's called acting, but I Googled Jan Birch today, and he basically like all this stuff comes up about how like he got cast in all these things because of his charming good looks and everything, and now he's like the charming good look guy going around killing and mauling and maiming everybody.
He's got that exotic European way about him with a little bit of an accent and the look. His face looks very Swedish or Norwegian, and then with the beard, it works so well that he's piercing. When you have piercing features, you could frighten people. You know, Betty Davis used to say that about Katharine Hepburn. She used to say, because I knew Betty well, she'd say Katharine Hepburn had the features that everybody would see. She said, when I was on camera, all they saw were my eyes because she had no features. She used to say, I look like I got hit in the face with a frying pan. And I said, Betty, not really. You were very beautiful. And she'd say, of course I was, darling. Of course I was.
Well, I've been very fortunate with the look and the fact that these movies really work. I like to do them a lot too. We all have a dark side, obviously. I do anyway.
It's an outlet.
Yeah. So the first feature film I ever did in the U.S., I went to see Roger Corman, and I went up to his office, his old office in Concord here in Brentwood. And what he did, he had this woman take a picture close up on my face, and they blocked everything out except my eyes. And then he called everybody in, and they just looked. There was a huge screen with just my eyes on it. And he said, I think we got the guy.
They got it.
I love that.
I wish I could play something evil. I'm making, I think, what I got 4 or 5 movies coming up this year, okay? In every one of them, I'm playing a mob boss.
No, you're playing a policeman.
I'm playing a cop. Oh, big deal. That's the same thing as a mob boss. You know, what difference? I want to play something horrible. I want to be like a vampire or something. I've never, ever played that in my life. I played a minister. A priest all the time.
Hang on though, because so Harley, you do a whole bunch of different kinds of things. Because you've got comedies, you've got Bennett's song, and you've got the new Bennett song. But a lot of your action movies, you seem to play like a Russian. I don't know if it's Russian, like a Russian mobster kind of person in a lot of your films.
Yeah,
you know, and you write those roles, so you write that for yourself.
He's another one that gets cast as Russian
but
mafia.
he casts himself that way.
Yeah, but he's good at it. When I saw him with the one with the slaves, what was that movie?
Yeah, Betrayed.
Betrayed. You were great.
Thank you. Yeah, that one to me, we did an awful lot of research. I remember I sat in my church and they were talking about how prevalent trafficking is, and I was like, oh, I thought trafficking was over there, kind of thing. And when you realize that it's right here and right around us in our backyards, the school that your kids go to had somebody taken from there, whatever. The mall that you go to had somebody grabbed there. I think it's something that just jumped on me that I have to show and put this in our backyard, because people need to realize how close this stuff is. And I don't know how to make a documentary well, so I figure I'll scare the bejesus out of people and make a film about it. But I mean, these things that pop into my head are generally things that actually affect me to begin with.
Yeah, but your film was well received.
Yeah.
As a film about kidnapping and stealing children and locking them in cages and brutality of what goes on. So that was a message better than a documentary.
But hang on, go back though, because you're writing these films and then you're playing a lot of that's a recurring character that you see, because you're really good at it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, do you do that on purpose where you're like writing that role? Are you trying to build a name for that character, or that's just once because you're in so many things it doesn't matter because you make like 50 films a year?
No, I've only written one role where I play a Russian, and that was in Betrayed. And I did absolutely enjoyed that. Somebody cast me as a Russian mob boss in a film that never got completed, and that's kind of where I had that still in me. I wanted to see what that could have been, so that's how he came about, Mikhail at the time. But normally, for instance, with Eternal, well, let's talk about Agramon's Gate, since that's kind of the topic of the hour. The role that I play was originally supposed to have been Billy Wirth. Billy was filming; he was doing the TV show with Forrest Whitaker. We couldn't figure out the schedules, and that ended up being the role that I said, you know what, I can shoulder that. And I had to kind of reconfigure who Zeb was from scratch, because I'd gone now for like 6 months imagining Zeb as Billy. And I'm not Billy. I can't do Billy, so I had to completely change that character up and kind of just reconfigure him. So that's where the original outlet came. And I made up this character in the last 3-4 weeks. I wasn't even sure about the look and feel of this character up until 2 weeks before we started shooting.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Boy, your sound went off.
I think we lost him. I'm
excited about it. Listen, you got to hear this now. This is going to sound weird. Remember Clown Motel that we all thought was a bomb and a terrible film? And everybody walked out of the premiere saying, oh my God, what a piece of shit. Well, all over the world, it's making the most money. It's won many, many awards. And my friend Joseph Kelly, who did it, is doing another one called Clown Motel 2. And I'm so happy they invited me in to play an admiral. So that's a change of pace for me. But I will research that character and find a depth to it. People think I'm nuts doing that. But I will make that admiral real. So not me. I don't want to be me. I want them to look at it, not see Ron. I want them to see the admiral. That's the thing I'm pushing the most for all of you actors out there. You girls with the big tits and the great asses, that doesn't go too far. That's good for like get laid films. But if you want to really work in an honest film,
A good film like a Harley film.
yeah, don't show your ass and your tits too much. Show people who you are as an actor, because tits and ass doesn't go very far, and everybody's got them nowadays. You could buy them. So don't be so proud of them.
Well, we're just getting started on a TV series called Tale of Tales. So anybody, if you are an actress and you do have the TNA, feel free to submit.
So one thing I find very interesting with the two of you now, I think that Agramon's Gate is your third film together, right? Because you did Betrayed.
Yes, Betrayed, Eternal Code, and Agamons. Yes.
Okay, and now you've got this one, so it's got your third one. The premiere, it's not open, right, to the public. It's for people that you invite, right?
Yeah, it's an invite only. And I just found out. I believe Joe was able to upgrade our theater because we ran out of space, and I believe he just got us upgraded to the next size and switched us because another film didn't quite have the crowd. So we have a couple extra seats right now. So if you have a good friend or something, let me know, and I'm sure I can get a friend or two in.
There you go. Okay, so everybody, this movie's going to be coming out on February 11th. It's called Agramon's Gate. So how did you guys meet together to do the very first film?
Can I ask
go ahead.
I want to ask a question before you go to that stuff.
Okay.
Harley.
Yeah.
Why is it none of you guys, and I mean you, Churchill, and Mark, Marcel, Walt, all of you who I think are great people, are not doing a comedy? What has happened to comedy?
He does.
I haven't ever seen Harley in a comedy. Have you?
Bennett's Song, I would say, was a dramedy.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about a real comedy. Why is it that no one does a comedy anymore? Don't you remember George Hamilton in
Love at First Bite?
Love at First Bite. I thought that was a delightfully stupid film, and I enjoyed it. Why don't one of you guys do a film like that? A high camp horror movie that's really funny.
I actually have a really funny script. I did a short film as an actor that was really, really funny, and it had that satire, dark, comedic touch to it. And I optioned the script. I told them to write a feature script and optioned it. When I talk to all my distributors, they say, careful, comedy doesn't travel. So I'm sitting on the script, but I'm really aiming for next year. I figure I have to build my brand so that I have enough of an audience between US and Canada that the success can be done here, so that we don't have to worry so much about, if they get our humor in Germany or in Mexico. Because that's the thing. You look at Eternal Code and Betrayed and Agramon's Gate, they sell like hotcakes to all kinds of foreign countries. Betrayed is now in 23 countries. Eternal Code is already at like 14 or 15. Agramon's Gate pre-sold to like 7 before it was even on the market. So the nice thing about this is we're all scared of the same stuff. The boogeyman is scary no matter where you are.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's not true that comedy doesn't travel. Because A Clown Motel 2 was originally supposed to be a horror movie. Now it's called the highest camp movie, hysterically funny comedy.
But it didn't start that way.
No, but now it is. And Joe Kelly is thrilled with it because he loves the idea that it's high camp funny. It's selling like crazy. You can't get it in Walmart anywhere. I think this year it's going to sell more videos than anyone has done in the business because people that watch it love it. They go hysterical. They goof on it. It's just too campy for words. Mm-hmm. And I think we need a little more of that nowadays in the world of...
What about just regular comedy? Why does it have to be horror comedy?
Well, any kind of comedy.
Like Bennett's Song is a family movie, right? It was a family movie about a family who has a bunch of children.
Let me tell you a quick story. When I was
hang on.
When I was hired to do Circus Road, which has been changed to Clown Field, Min found me in the lobby of one of those premieres.
It was his premiere.
Yeah, your premiere. Min found me.
At Betrayed.
And Min said, "You are so funny. You are a hysterical guy. You're up there. You're out there. You're wild. You're wonderful. You've got to play our minister who's gay." And I said, "Fine. It's an easy catch for me." Well, when I went on the set, he said, "No gay, no comedy, nothing. I want you to be straight, serious, a minister, like boring." And I said, "What the fuck did you hire me for? You could have got anybody to play the minister. There's nothing here for me." Mm-hmm. So you see, I don't get it. I don't understand. I think it had a lot to do with Lionsgate, because if Lionsgate handles your film, they sort of take it over. They don't want this kind of vulgarity. They don't want homosexuality. They don't want anything. So I think Lionsgate is a trouble with film. I think they put a cap on films. And Lionsgate should mind their fucking business and just go and do whatever the fuck they do. And let directors and producers and writers do their thing. You know, even on Church's film, The Big Friggin' Rat, it was a nightmare on that production because we couldn't curse, we couldn't have fun, we couldn't talk because Lionsgate was there. They don't allow this, they don't allow that. I said, what the fuck am I, in a concentration camp or on a movie set? I hated it. I hated working on that film with such a passion. You have no idea. It was the biggest mistake of my life. So Lionsgate, now I run from them a little bit. I mean, I know you guys are stuck with them because they're your distributors.
No, that's not. He doesn't get distributed through Lionsgate.
Yeah, actually, I haven't had Lionsgate as a distributor.
Good for you.
I pay attention to everything you got going, Harley.
Good for you.
Because like you're like the model that everybody should be actually like paying attention to. Someone who puts out a quality product. Gets his films financed. You get really good casts. You know, everybody knows the people that are the people that are the stars of your cast.
And that's why your films are good, because Lionsgate's not there telling you what to do.
So also too, one thing that I don't know if everybody knows, but did you guys know that Jan, besides doing all these great movies, that Jan used to be a soapy?
Go away.
Yeah.
Go away.
I was Googling Jan, and Jan was a soapy. He was on Santa Barbara, and he was on Young and the Restless.
Oh my! Did you know?
We know everybody from Young and the Restless.
Yeah, I was on there.
Every one of our close dear friends, from Judith Chapman to Sean Kanan to Tristan Rogers, down to
all on Young and the Restless.
All of them are our best friends. Every single soap opera star are our very dearest and best friends. And now we have you. I didn't know you were a soapy.
I didn't know you were soapy either. Like, how was...
I didn't play the normal soap character on Santa Barbara. I was a German terrorist that moved into the city, and I was in there for like a whole season, almost blowing things up. And I was like the devil's advocate of the nice society that lived there. Young and the Restless, a little better actually. Swedish masseurs that have a relationship with one of the female leads behind her husband's back, really.
Who was the star at the Young and Restless then? Was it any of our friends?
You know what? I'm sorry, but I do not even recall what. The girl I was playing with, she was only like 18 or 20 at that point, but she's been in a lot now. I can't recall the name right off the bat here, but
those decades are a little blurry.
It's so cool that you were.
Yeah, those days are a little blurry. It was the 90s, early 90s.
I think Judith Chapman was around on the Young and Restless, wasn't she?
Judith Chapman, yes, she's on Young and the Restless.
She was. I bet she was the star when you were working. Judith Chapman, a very good, dear, close friend.
Yeah,
of mine.
most likely. Yeah, and I remember the faces I worked with. I can't tell you. I'm bad with names.
I love it. So, okay, so let's go back to what I wanted to ask before. So when you guys, because you guys have been now in 3 movies together, which I'm going to promote them all real quick. You guys should get these films. According to Harley, a lot of these films are in a bunch of countries. Are your films in Germany? Because there's somebody in Germany in the chat room who wants to see your films.
I don't think we have Germany yet, because I know the ones that we had to send out for dubbing was France and Mexico so far. And I know Germany is a dubbing country, so I would say no.
No. Okay. So anyway, Eternal Code, Betrayed, and now Agamon's Gate, that's coming out on February 11th. There are 3 films you guys have worked together on. So how did you guys actually like hook up? I guess Harley, you would have had to find Jan because it was your film.
Yeah. No, we have a mutual friend that I was talking to, and I said, I'm looking to find because especially in the independent world. You're flipping every dime 15 times, and you're trying to find, the cast without going directly to an agent. so that you can get them excited and get them on your side. So I said, she had a couple of people that she got me in contact with, and then she goes, "Oh my God, you know who I have to get you in contact with? I got to get you in contact with Jan." And I'm like, "Jan, this kind of rings a bell." And she's like, "Yeah, Jan Birch." And I'm like, "Oh wow." And I'm a big fan of The People Under the Stairs.
Me too.
And Bless the Child, huge fan. So for me to see, to get a hold of him, and then there's a trust factor too. Swedish people are generally known for being good and generous and open-handed and caring and that integrity piece. So I think we just became friends like right out of the gate. And I was saying this, it would be weird for me now if I have a role that fits Jan gets the role. And there's no argument. There's no doubt about it. I know he's going to dedicate himself. I know he's going to lay down an amazing performance. I know everything I'm getting with Jan. To me, we're so close that it doesn't even enter my head. If there's a role for Jan gets the role.
That's so funny, they're both Swedish.
You know what this reminds me of what you're doing? Years ago, we had Warner Brothers, MGM. They had a system. They had a family of actors. It was their own stable. They had the same actors in all their films. And you seem to be doing that now. And Churchill seems to be doing that also. Having a bevy of actors that you use all the time in all of your films.
If they fit.
Yeah.
And that's very good because it gives these actors a chance to grow, groom, and get better and make your films better. So I kind of like that idea of a family affair, like Warner Brothers. If you know anything about the old system in America.
Yeah, you're like a miniature Warner Brothers. How cool is that?
Well,
that's not a bad thing, right?
That's how it was in the old system years ago. It was a family.
That's I agree 100%. I mean, when I started working with Harley, actually, before we even worked together, when we the first time we met, I came in, I flew in, I went to the hotel, and then we went out to have dinner, to chat, to get to know each other a little bit. And I told him right off the bat, I said, Harley, you know how long I waited to work with a director that I feel really close to? And we just met. And I'm like, I think you might be the guy. I'm like, I feel like we might have a very long relationship because I hit it off right away with his personality, his character, and what he told me about the role. I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm like, this feels really, really good, and so far so very good. I must say, I'm very happy what we've done together. I'm very happy with the response of how I play the characters and his directing, and this Agamemnon's Gate, this movie. I have to say a couple of things here. From the first day I read the script, I said to Harley, "This is something extraordinary. This is gonna, if they blow this out, if you get the right distributor, this could be the sleeper hit of the year." I mean, I said, you got all the elements in there, and I said, this is going to be special, and I think you actually succeeded with it.
Now let's go one step further. Granted, Harley's directing is fabulous. Your acting is wonderful, and you're shooting all of this glorious.
I didn't get fabulous. What's happening?
Wait a second. No, you get fabulous. Wait a second. This is a serious note I'm making. Everything has been shot beautifully, and then some son of a bitch starts to edit. And he doesn't think your performance is good, so he minimalizes yours, and he chops up Harley, and you turn out a piece of shit for a movie when, in fact, you shot a genius of a film. This is the thing that I'm pissed off about most.
But Harley, don't you edit? Do you edit your own film so you know what? Or no?
I don't physically edit, but listen, there's no such thing as the editor's fault. If you're a director on a film, you will start by directing your production team, and then you will direct your cast and crew, and then you will direct your editor. There's no such thing as a film coming out without passing through the gate of the director.
Not true.
So if they cut it up bad, I will fix it. There's no way that's going to happen.
I just saw a movie.
I've taken films from editors, by the way, who didn't do what I wanted done.
I just saw a film recently. I won't name it. That made no sense. And I said to Jimmy, this film has been chopped so badly that they've lost the whole meaning in the characters. Now, I spoke to one of the actors, and one of the actors is very upset because the role that they portrayed was cut out to the point where
Yeah.
the character made no sense even being in the fucking film. They should have cut the character out completely. And this is something that disturbs me because the performance of, I can't give you names, but
That's
the
on
performance
director,
of
though.
the performance of this actor was so outstanding. This actor should have been throughout the entire film and was
Actually, I
not.
have a question then for you, Harley, because I hear what you're saying as the director. And I know because I've seen a lot of indie films that has the problem that Ron is talking about, and a lot of time the people who finance the film somehow are getting a final say in how it gets edited, and the director is not. Is that something that they should be nipping in the bud
Wait a second.
Yeah,
Also,
you got to
let me
Well, I wanna
negotiate
get-
this to begin with.
ahead of time?
First of all, a couple things. I make my film an LLC that I own.
Got
They
it. Yes.
don't own the film.
yeah,
And
but that's
they
okay.
have-
Wait.
Hang on, let him answer. This is
They don't have any say in the creative part of it. They are investors. If you invest in Volvo, you don't get to talk about how the fuck they make a Volvo.
right. You're right.
Right?
Okay.
So same
But
thing with my films. Now, some people, unfortunately, to get the money, they have to concede a bunch of things. I know a film that me and Jan actually went to see a screening of at AFM. The executive producers ended up at the end of the day taking over the product, sending it to a whole different editor, and that film, Jan, made no sense. Did that
At
make
all.
sense?
None.
Same kind
Okay.
of thing. You took.
I think
you
we're talking about the same film.
Well, we can't talk about it.
No.
Yeah, we might be talking about the same film.
I think so. You know what? You know what? Here, the director of that film, by the way, is also upset because his directing and his final director's cut was thrown to the wind. Here's what happens: you get some young nothing, untalented piece of ass who married some old John with tons of dough, and she comes to you and she says, "I want to make a movie, but I'm going to produce it, and I want the final cut." Then at the end of the film, she cuts everybody out of the film and makes it her audition. This is what I'm talking about. This kind of shit.
I've turned down 3 of those.
Good for
Wanted to
you.
finance
Good
my
for you.
films.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean that happens in the independent market, but it happens a lot more in the studio system, obviously, because I've been a victim of that in the studio system, where no names mentioned, no titles mentioned, and Harley knows the story. But this is a really, really, really big director, and it was one of the biggest studios. And he called me, and we cried together basically because we've been talking about what's my role, and we worked together for 5 months on this movie in Canada and the U.S. And he actually, when he said, "Hey, they tested it in the Bible Belt, and you look too much like Jesus." That's all I'm going to say on that aspect. And they said the studio, they just gonna chop you up.
Somebody in the chat room said you look like Jesus too.
Especially now with the
Especially
halo.
with the halo behind you.
The halo behind you. You know what? I
Wait,
think
wait till you see
politics-
Agramon's Gate.
We
He
can't
don't look
wait.
like
I
Jesus
can't
there.
wait. I really can't wait because I really enjoy your films. But I firmly believe politics have no place in film. Film is about fantasy. Film is about fun. Film is not about the president or the new president or the old or who's a Democrat, who's a Republican.
None of them.
And none of that shit should be in the film or at the Academy Awards. Our business, and I'm in this business 58 years, so I can talk.
No, 61. You have to quit saying 58.
I mean, it's 61.
We
Jesus.
just looked it up the other day. His first film. It's 61.
Okay, I'm in this business 61 years, and I've watched this business decay and fall apart, rebuild, decay, and fall apart. TV came along, it fell apart, then it got better. So I've watched Hollywood ascend and descend, and I'll tell you the reason it does is because it lets trend in. Whatever the trend is, they fall for it. They produce it. Like right now, Asians are in, so they win awards because it's politically correct to be kind to the Asians. A few years ago, it was the blacks. Let's be kind to the blacks. And then for a period of time, it was the gays. Hollywood has got to stop this shit with kissing ass of groups of people who are fighting to be equal with everybody else. Hollywood is not the place for it. Hollywood is only for movies, for fantasy, for enjoyment. And this is what has ruined Hollywood periodically over the decades, and I have seen it. When the hippies were in, we did hippies. When this one was in, we did that one. And that's not what it's all about. It's not a political vehicle.
Entertainment.
It's about entertainment.
Yeah.
And you are entertaining. You guys make entertaining films.
Well, there's no politics. Only the thing with the slaves, and I agreed with those politics because that was helping humanity. But other than that, I don't care for it. And I think these people that want to be in the business that have no fucking talent, stay out of our fucking business. We don't need you in our fucking business. Just because you put a pair of rubber tits in and you had your ass pumped up, don't think you're going to be Charlize Theron, okay? You're nothing but a sleazy slut with a click cover for a skirt, and you look like trash at all these fucking openings.
We got all these things, and Ron
They
can't
look
even
like
believe it.
look like bad. Job pullers to me. They don't look like actresses. Actresses were Grace Kelly, Joan Crawford, Betty Davis. All those great actresses. They didn't show tits, ass, and pussy to get where they got. They got talent. They were actors and actresses. So all of you stupid kids and you guys out there that are 22 years old and hit on me, you ain't going anywhere with me because I'm not interested in you and I have no clout. So save your dicks for somebody else. And you're gonna.
At least we know that Lionsgate's not owning this show.
One guy said to me, one guy said to me, I'm not heterosexual and I'm not bisexual. I'm trisexual. I said, what the hell is trisexual? He said, I'll try anything once. So I said, oh, go ask that guy over there. He's into trisexual too. And I sent him to Churchill.
Oh man!
Well, that's quick, everybody. First of all, you guys, Harley and Jan are in social media. You can follow Harley. He's at Harley the Swede. Is that what your Instagram is too, Harley the Swede?
No, that one is official Harley Wallen.
Official Harley Wallen on Twitter. He's Harley the Swede. Jan is Jan Birch. He's easy to find.
Where's Lorraine?
No, she may be coming in a little bit. So you guys listen up. You want to watch Agamon's Gate? It's going to come out on demand February 11th.
I can't
and
wait.
We're going to see it before all of you guys because we're going to the premiere on
Friday. And I know I'm going to enjoy it, and I know I'm going to like it ahead of time. If I don't, I will tell you the truth.
Let's also do a commercial real quick. So you guys, if you want to meet Harley Wallen and Jan Birch in person, they're going to be part of our entertainment guests at the Sue Wong Academy Gala. And they're going to be coming along with their beautiful wives that are super talented. Also, you guys can go to what's the thing for it? It's I wrote it down. SueWongAcademyGala.com. It's an Oscar viewing party. It's on February 9th in LA on Vine Street. Like I said again, you can go to SueWongAcademyGala.com. Some of the people that are going to be coming, along with Jan Birch and Ron and I and Eileen Shapiro and Harley Wallen. We've got.
Where are we going?
Huh?
Where are we going?
Where are we going? We're going to the Sue Wong Academy Gala.
You'd love the name Susie Wong. I love it. Remember the movie that Susie Wong did?
Sadie Katz is going to be there. Ian Buchanan from General Hospital and all those different. Devaney Penn,
Everybody.
Tom Churchill, Miles Reef, two-time Emmy winner. Daniel DeCrisio. We've got Chris Browning from a bunch of films. Sarah French, Marcel Wass, Sherry Davis. CeCe Hendricks is coming. Tawny Katane, you guys, if you guys remember Tawny Katane from all the Whitesnake videos back in the day.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, half of those names, I adore the people. They're my family. And I'm so happy that they appreciate me, the no bag. You know, usually I'm going to be 80 in May. And people my age are cast aside because we're thought of as being narrow-minded, stupid, ignorant, fucked up people because of where we came from 100 years ago. But all these young people love me, and I love them back, and they're just the best crew. And sometimes I say, gee, I wish I were 40 again, just so I could work 30, 40 years with them, because they're all sweet people, good girls. That's Sarah French.
I like to be 40s, too.
No,
Really?
Sarah French is an outstanding actress. You know, when Jimmy and I were driving in to see Blind, Marcel Waltz's film, I said to Jimmy, another piece of shit. We got to drive 200 miles. And Sarah French, I love her, but all she is tits and ass. In every film, she's getting laid or getting felt up. I mean, how can she carry a movie? It's not possible. 10 minutes into the film, I turned to Jimmy. I said, my God, she's a great actress. I am so happy for Sarah French. She did a performance in Blind that was so fabulous. To me, it was the best movie I've seen all year long. I love the storyline. I love the way Marcel did it. It's a great movie. Have you guys seen Blind?
I went to the premiere with you. Yeah.
You went with me?
No, I saw you there.
Yes. And I loved the film. I really loved it because it was what an interesting story about. I don't want to give it away, but the plot was good. What I liked most about Sarah's performance was that she wasn't acting; she was portraying. She was the character, and I thought she did. She won more awards for that film, my friend. You got to see all the awards she's won.
Anyway, so
Sarah French is a new up, and Sadie Katz, of course, is a.
They all know. Actually, we got to remember that Harley lives in Detroit, right? You live in Detroit.
Yeah, he doesn't know the Hollywood.
So we don't get to always see you. Too bad that you don't also live here. You got to get your films to make millions of dollars, so you have a house in both places, so we see you more often.
Well,
I think Sadie. I think both. Yeah, I think Sadie is coming on Friday, and hopefully Marcel as well.
Yeah.
And more people you know. So.
Sadie is all over the world. They took her to Genoa, Italy to shoot a film, which I can't wait to see. Then
she was just in Paris.
Then she went to Chicago. She went to Florida. She went to Paris. She's all over the world now filming. Sadie Katz is soon going to leave the horror genre and go into major motion pictures. I feel that they're ready to pull her out of where she is now. And I think she's going to be up there with great Hollywood stars. Sadie, I worked with Sadie, like I said, and she was brilliant.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. Here's what we're going to do.
We're a 2-hour show.
I know. Here's what we're going to do.
Why are we going?
Huh? Because I've got to call Lorene, and they can't add more people to the screen.
Who said they have 4 people on the screen?
I know, because it doesn't show up and it doesn't work good.
You know what? Fuck this show.
So anyway, here's what we're going to do, you guys. First of all, you guys, Agramon's Gate, February 11th. Follow Harley at Harley the Swede.
But I'm enjoying them. Can't they
follow
stay?
Jan Birch? Well, I don't. We can try. Scotty J, can you add Lorene?
Just for you guys, because it's you. All right, I will bring Lorene in here.
I'm having such a good time with these two.
Let's bring Lorene into the party. Come on, let's bring her in. I'm going to dial her up right now. What do you think?
Absolutely.
You know, I don't really get it.
Go.
You don't get people that give opinions like you two who are honest. Most of the people in our business are so fucking afraid of opening their mouths. You know, they're terrified of whatever they say. I'm enjoying this interview a lot. And I don't feel good, so that's good. But now with Lorene...
Hopefully forgetting about your troubles.
No, I get bitchy when I'm sick like this. That's why I went after...
We both have the flu.
That's why I went after that friggin' whatever, Lionsgate.
Because he has the flu.
No, because I just felt that Lines, you know, the script was okay. But I said to the director, listen, I'm from Brooklyn. I hung out with the mob. I grew up with the gangsters of Brooklyn. I know the mafia well. They're my friends. I'm in their house. They're in my house. Even the big bosses, the big names. I know how they think. I know how they function. I know how they talk. This line doesn't work. Brooklyn guys don't say this line. Like, over there is a diner.
Okay, we got to go.
You know, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, yeah, over there is a diner. Anyway, nobody listens to me.
Lorene.
Yeah.
Where's Lorene?
Lorene, hit your video button. Oh, there she is. I can see her. She's up there. Okay.
I can't.
Hey, Lorene, can you see Harley and Jan? They're on the line also.
Hi, Harley.
Hi, Lorene. I can't wait to see you.
Oh, my God, that smile. Unbelievable. Beautiful smile.
Look at his beard. Look at his beard. He's like all like stud now.
Where is Lorene?
She's right there.
I'm right here.
That little round thing?
Yes.
I'm here, but I'm not all there. What am I supposed to do?
No, you're there. You're there.
Why can't
it's
she
going to get rotated because you can't. There's not enough room for everybody, which is what I told you just a minute ago.
But we've had 4 people on it once.
I know. He's got to work. He's got to work it into the whole thing to make it work.
Lorene.
Hey, Lorene, it's so nice to see you. We also have Jan Birch, who disappeared for a minute. I don't know where he went. But everybody, welcome Lorene Landon to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
Hi, everybody. Where's Jan?
He disappeared.
He probably went
to pee.
He probably went to pee. He had to pee.
And I got to let you know, I am actually on the site for the TV show, and I got to walk back in here in a minute. So
okay.
I have 5 minutes before I have to run back in, and
That's
we're
fine.
actually getting our funds for the TV show today.
Yeah, congratulations! Yay! All right, so that way.
Congratulations.
What
Hey,
TV show?
I'm back.
What TV show?
It's
What
called
TV show?
it's
TV
called
show?
Tale of Tales.
What is it?
Tales. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting. They brought me in to play the lead character of this TV show. and I read everything through. I loved the character, but I felt the story was kind of thin. It takes place. It's an owner of a strip club that's kind of a low-end mob boss. So it has a bit of the Ozark meets the Sopranos, and then a girl, one of the strippers, essentially ends up getting missing. So the police investigation starts, and we find out that everything in that club is not on the up and up, and there's an awful lot of issues with Nick. So when they brought the story to me, there was only pretty much Nick's story. That was pretty much the thread throughout the whole thing. I just feel that it wasn't multidimensional enough to draw a big audience. So I added a couple of layers. I feel, since Sons of Anarchy ended, there's been a void of a good biker show.
Yes.
I felt the criminal aspect to me felt like we should probably have some kind of detective or FBI side of things for them to feel even more hate on Nick. So I added these things. They loved the additions. I started writing for it. And then about 5-6 weeks ago, they asked me to direct. So we start shooting it in 2 weeks.
Yay!
February 14th, we start shooting.
It sounds like a film I should be in, a gangster film. Another one.
Are you shooting in the Ozarks, Harley?
Yeah, it's similar. It's in that direction for sure.
I just came back from the Ozarks.
Oh yeah, very cool.
I just shot a movie called Sorrow's Way in the Ozarks in Rockaway Beach and Branson, Missouri, and the nicest, most wonderful people, and it's beautiful there, absolutely fabulous. I wanted to buy the house that we shot in. It's directed by Ben Lawson and an amazing cinematographer named Chuck France. So you're really shooting in the Ozarks. Have you been there before?
No. I'm the show is similar to the show Ozark on Netflix.
I love that show. That's a great show. That's the one with Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, congratulations, Harley.
Thank you, Lori.
All right, so let's do this. Let's let Harley go, and then we'll bring Lorene on the full screen so we can see him. Harley, everybody follow Harley the Swede.
Thank you.
See his new movie. Congratulations on your new TV show, and congratulations on Agramon's Gate and all that you're doing to bring entertainment. Thank you so much, Harley.
We'll see you Harley, we'll see you next week. You'll be here in LA, right?
Friday.
Yep, Friday. Yep.
Friday. We'll see you then, and your lovely wife. Terrific. Thank you for giving us a good show.
Thank you.
Bye, Harley. Bye, Harley.
Oh, there he is, Jesus Christ.
Now we have Jesus in the flesh.
Jesus in the flesh.
So now we have Lorene, you guys, and now we have Jan Birch and Lorene, and they're both in Agramon's Gate.
How come I only see Jan? I'm not seeing Lorene.
You'll see her in a minute. She's here. So what we're going to do is talk with the two of them. So now they're both in Agramon's Gate. That's coming out on the 11th, and it's another film that Lorene doesn't have makeup on, and she looks all like crazy whacked out. You guys have to go online and watch Agramon's Gate trailer on YouTube because it's phenomenal, and I think you guys will like it a lot. So I think everybody needs to check it out and see it. And so how many films have you two guys made together? Have you made more than one?
40. I made the devil laugh.
Yeah, no, this is the only one so far. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more.
He's incredible in it. I mean, not only is this one of the most gorgeous men in Hollywood, but he is so distinct looking. He has such an unbelievably unusual look to him that when you see him on screen or anywhere, you know exactly who this guy is. And I can't say enough about his performance because he terrified me in this movie. He really, really scared me in this movie. And he is a absolutely luminous actor. And I am so grateful and so proud to work with him and also with beautiful Katie Walline, who, it was a collaborative effort. None of us starred in the movie. We all star in the movie. Calhoun Koenig is Agramon. You're Agramon. everybody's Agramon. I might be Agramon. I still don't know. I haven't seen the movie, but Chris Riley is in it. Harley Walline did an exceptional job of creating a movie. He tackles movies that are that most people will not touch, such as human sex trafficking. This one in particular, fear, because inside all of us is a dormant creature that once it's woken creates this irrational fear, impossible to control. And all these insecurities are bottled up inside of us in real life, and they stop many of us from actually living a real productive life. I am one of them because fear has been my constant companion all my life. So I cannot express to you how brilliant Jan Birch is in this role. I've seen him in so many movies, but just working with him, he became the devil incarnate.
Yay! And he's super creepy in the trailer.
I can't say enough about it.
What compliment! Super creepy. I like it.
No,
So,
I mean,
Lorene,
thank you so much, Lorene. I have to butt in here a little bit, Jimmy, and also share, how I felt about her performance. I mean, when we shot the scene specifically in the hospital, I as she knows now, I go quite deep into my character, and so I had my own little private space, and I did not want to see her before we started shooting, because I sat in this chair and prepared myself. Because if I go up and talk to her, say, "Hey, what's happening?" all of a sudden, I'm becoming Jan again, and
you break the character, yeah.
Yeah, and we don't have the 2 months to shoot this thing. It's not a studio film, so so we basically didn't, we rehearsed a little bit, but then we really got deep into our characters, and especially the hospital scene. I come up and we start playing, and she's feeding me what this character needed to get fed, basically. I mean, we bounced off each other tremendously. I think it was brilliant, not just on my end. It was brilliant on her end too, most definitely. So
thank you. Well, I think I'm scarier looking than you, Jan, because I had no makeup on in the film.
So
I had more makeup than you probably, yeah.
I have a question for you guys. Since you guys have both been in big studio productions, and now you also make a lot of independent films where you're shooting in 10 days. How is it as an actor, going from movies that might take months to shoot to going to movies that take 10 days to shoot? I know for Ron, it's been a terrible thing. He just can't stand it because you don't have to get to rehearse or do any of those things.
We used to go to 10 weeks of rehearsal for a movie.
No, I know. I mean, I agree with Ron on that point, that you get a lot more time to prepare. And like on Blessed Child, they told me 4 months in advance, and they wanted my body in a specific way, so I had to go to the gym like 3 times a day to get that. But at the same time, though, when you do the independent shorter shoot, one advantage that I feel is that you get into your character and you stay in your character the whole time. If you're on a 6 month shoot, it's more difficult to stay in your character because sometimes you just want to kick back at a bar, but and then you lose you lose more of your character. But if you have a 10-day shoot, you get in, and I really don't get out at all.
But did you ever see in studio films an actor who at some points of the film is better than he was in other points of the film? The points where he's better is because he's done it longer. So you do acquire a better sense of who you are when you see the dailies, because you see where you fucked up on the dailies and you prevent that from happening again. And now you're going to cultivate your character better. So I think that when you do a studio film of 3 months, you really have the character down pat, and the film is so much better quality-wise. Why is it motion pictures we see in the movie theaters on screen are professional looking, and yet some of these movies that we see at these red carpets are not? Because of the timing. You can't do quality. Listen, you can't do good work in 10 days. I'm sorry. It's not possible. It's like manufacturing something quickly. It's not the quality of what's good.
conversely, when I was doing huge budget movies for like 20th Century Fox, which was I, the Jury with Armand Desante, or All the Marbles with Peter Falk, directed by the great Robert Aldrich, and Airplane 2, you had to work within a certain box, a bubble. And the beauty about independent films is I can do all this improvisation that you cannot do in a studio film. They just want boom, boom, boom because of the time restraints. And in independent films, I am allowed to do a lot of improvisation, and I bring my work to the table as gorgeous Jan does. And
gorgeous Jan.
Well, he is gorgeous. Get out. If he wasn't married, well, it'd be a different story. But his wife will kill me. Anyway, I love Victoria. She should be a movie star.
We love her too.
She's so beautiful and kind. But what I'm trying to say is there is a beauty to independent films, and that is you are allowed to bring characters to the format that you cannot bring to a big studio film. I've made 27 big studio films, and every single one I had to go by the rules and hurry. Whereas, and that's when we had film. I feel film is forever and digital is deletable. But the beauty about digital films is you can do it over and over and over again in a snap.
That's true.
So that's what I love about independent films is the ability to do improv.
Yeah, but you don't get to do it over in independent films. If you don't get it right by 6 or 7 times, you're out because there's no time. You need speed. Whereas a studio, when I was shooting that movie with Sophia, they were doing one scene for about 20 times until they got it right. And at one point, Sophia slipped on the wet concrete, fell down and cut her knee, and we had to wait hours for her to get better and come out and reshoot it. If that were a 10-day shoot, they would have just edited out her falling and they would have moved on, which could have ruined the film. The quality, when I go to the movies and I see film, studio film, I see quality. I don't see hokey pokey, let's do it in the garage kind of film. When I go to some of these premieres, I see hokey pokey. I see bad directing, bad acting, bad scenery, bad everything. This is the point I'm trying to bring out.
I understand.
When you're doing a $25 million film, you have what to do with. When you're doing a $150,000 film and a cast of 8 people, you have nothing. So that's a sad part about indie films. They'll never be quality films to go in theaters to make the big bucks. And if you're on the back end of a studio film, you might make some money. But if you're on the back end of these horror movies, never. You never make a nickel. So that's the bad part. Actors don't get much money. Okay.
You didn't leave that open for anybody to comment.
No, I did.
No, I mean it makes sense to some extent. I agree. And also, but the thing is, even if it's an independent, it's all up to you how much you can prepare. Like when I work with Harley, I know 3 months before we shoot what I'm playing. I have the script. I'm working in script changes with him. But on the other hand, as I agree with you, I've done smaller independent films where I don't get the script until I get to set and I'm supposed to shoot that day.
Yeah.
They just basically told me about
ridiculous.
The character, and I don't. And yeah, that I don't like at all because I don't even know. Even before shoot, and no names mentioned, but it just happened just last summer to me. I kept calling the director, asking, "So what do you see? How do you see the character?" He's like, "Well, let's talk about that later." And I'm like, I want to talk about it now. We're shooting in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't.
No.
What did you think of Hanukkah?
I never saw it.
I never saw it.
Well, you're lucky you didn't see it. It was the worst film ever made. I don't know how they had the audacity to call it a movie. It was backwards, upside down, inside out.
Also, though, we didn't see the newest one.
I don't give a shit. The one I saw was hideous. It was a piece of, it was something that an 8-year-old could do with a movie camera in a garage. It was a horrible film. Hanukkah stinks, and it had some good actors in it. My Sadie Katz was in it, and my Sadie was not happy with that film.
So I have a comment though then about what. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, with Jan. Oh shit! Now I forgot what I was going to say. See, like I messed it up. I lost my moment.
My mother would say that it was a lie.
No, it was something about the whole indie film, because not all indie films are terrible. Oh, I know what I was going to say. No, I got it now. Like one thing about it, Han, because I think I've seen most of the indie films, and some of the ones you've been in have been really, really good. Some of them not so good. Unfortunately, everybody's got some indie films that are not so good. But I think that working with Harley is different than a lot of the other indie producers, because he seems to be very willing to work it out with you. 3 months in advance, you guys are already like talking about the way it's going to be, and so I think he seems way more involved as a director than a lot of the other directors who you just show up and do whatever you do, and they don't really direct you.
I came from Hollywood of years.
No, that's that is completely correct. That is true, and then that's why I don't really see what we do with Harley as a. I don't put him in the same box as all the other independent small horror movies at all. I see it more as like I told you guys earlier, as a very much longer relationship, and it has not been all horror. It's been an action thriller on the first movie I ever did with him. I played a Swedish scientist in an action thriller about that human slavery.
Yes.
And then Eternal Code was also like more of a crazy scientist, but I don't put him in the box as a lot of other names we can mention here. I think he takes it much more serious. He takes it much more serious to get his investors' money back. That's for sure. Well, than a lot of other these people.
That's why I call him Harley the king of social commentary, because akin to my departed best friend Larry Cohen, Larry always had a social commentary or thematic echo in all his films, and Harley does that too. Like I said earlier, he tackles issues like human trafficking and about science and different things like this. For instance, fear. This movie is predicated upon fear, which we can all relate to at some degree in our lives. But he tackles issues in his movies that no one else will touch, and you can see it in his work. And I just love working with him, and he comes to you when you're shooting. He talks to you gently. What if we tried it this way? How do you feel? And he in this particular role, I went places in my reverie in my past that were untapped for a long time, that I kept under lock and key in my heart because it was so painful and excruciating. And that was my father and how my father died. And I never talk about that. I never go into detail what happened with my father, how he died. But Harley was able to bring that out because we had talked a little bit about it, and he opened me up. He got me to open up, and that's why I was able to perform this role the way that I did it. I
can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it either.
Allowed to improv.
It sounds like a good film, Lorene.
I could only use my eyes, my heart, and my head.
Good. Another point I want to bring out. When Barbra Streisand decided to write, produce, and direct, they called her the triple threat.
Yeah.
It was looked upon in Hollywood as an egotistical, terrible move. Nowadays, most of the films that I've been in or I've seen friends in are written, produced, and directed by the same person.
Right.
I think that doesn't give enough influx of other people's thinking and feelings. When you write it, direct it, and produce it, it's a one-way-sided thinking. That's what makes these films look one-sided, one-way thinking. You read lines. You don't act anymore. I saw you in that other film last week. Unfortunately, not enough of you.
I was cut out a lot of it, and
the film was a disaster as far as I'm concerned because it made absolutely no sense to me. I watched it. I mean, you were fabulous as that drunken evil bitch, and I wanted more of you.
I was cut out a lot of it.
I know, which made no sense. So your character absolutely was not of any value to me. I dismissed it and said, okay, she's a one-shot deal in this movie. But the directing wasn't very good, and I didn't care much for the story, and I thought the film was awful. Then I found out the reasons why, and I quite understood why the film was chopped to pieces and made to look like shit. But it won't go anywhere, that film. So the person that did all these things only was her own worst enemy.
Yeah,
So-
we won't say her name.
We won't say her name, but we know that this happens in film, and it's a shame because some of actors' best work lies on the floor in the cutting room, and that's a sin because you work very hard and long hours, 17, 18 hours, to get what you're doing perfect. And then these people so carelessly, thoughtlessly just chop it up and throw it on the floor like, oh, well, fuck that. We don't need that. Well, you do need it. If you didn't need it, it wouldn't have been shot.
That's true.
Lorraine, I
Yeah,
have
no,
to tell
I
you,
mean-
you look gorgeous. Lorraine, I mean,
She's always
the two of you
gorgeous.
guys are like supermodels on the screen
She's
here.
my Lorraine is always my gorgeous.
Go ahead, Jan. What were
She's
you going
my-
to say?
Yeah, what I was gonna say a little bit on Ron's note there to compare Harley with a lot of these other guys that we have touched base on it before. He does, even if he wrote or co-wrote some of these. I mean, Agamons was a friend of his. I mean, and Brett now writes. And the next movie we're doing together called Beneath Us All, I'm playing a Viking vampire. Yeah, they were shooting in April. That's also a different writer. So he's opening up the doors a little bit more. But at the same time, even if he writes the concept and he does produce and direct, he opens the door specifically for the actors. And I've seen him work with his DP a lot and the editing like he discussed before. So he's a little bit of a rare gem that way.
Absolutely.
Even if he wears all the hats, it's not his way or the highway. It's more like, okay, so how can this be better? And
but not everybody is like him.
Yeah, he's a diamond in the rough.
He's an exception to the rule. Now, for example, listen to what I have to do. I'm shooting a film here, thankfully in Palm Springs, I believe, and it's called The Angry Gun. Of course, I play the head of the mob, a real big killer guy that knocks everybody off.
Of course.
So Sunday, I'm having the writer and the producer over. He's the one man for dinner, Sunday lunch. And we're going to sit and we're going to discuss this film and we're going to discuss my character and we're going to discuss the script. He's a young guy. He used to be my editor years and years ago when I had my TV show, Set the Record Straight. He's a phenomenal photographer and now he's been in producing. So I won't use his name yet, but we have a good friendship going in camaraderie. And I want to just discuss with him and I want to teach him. Get to know your actor socially for a little bit. Get to feel what you could get out of that actor. Study the mannerisms of the actor. Like this guy, Jan, has the eyes. His eyes could stab you with knives. You know what I mean? And that's like in person. He's not acting. Jan looks at you and you feel daggers going through you. So you know what? No, it's true. So you know what? Use those eyes. If a writer is smart in the script, have the camera do a close-up of Jan staring a dirty look at somebody. Years ago in Hollywood, we didn't only speak. Today in all these horror movies, they read lines. We acted. We moved. We could walk across a room, look down at the floor, shake our head, not say a word, and the audience knew what we were doing, saying, and thinking. They don't do that today.
Actually, Lorraine's doing that in this movie because basically...
Lorraine is an actress. Let's not even get into her. Lorraine is my favorite. Please, Lorraine can act. I mean,
Lorraine and Jan can
like,
act.
Fuck her. She's not even in this conversation. Lorraine is my movie star. I'm not even talking about her. Or Sadie Katz, another tremendous actress. Are you kidding? I'm talking about some of these people I know. And like, I want to be nice. And after a shot, I want to open my mouth. But I say, don't you dare. They'll kick you off the set because you're going to be a troublemaker. So it's sad. But acting is not only speaking. Why don't they do that anymore?
Okay,
yeah,
go
I mean,
for it.
Some of the big directors still does that, and I mean, fortunately, a lot of times when I'm at the studio films I've done, the way besides just audition or callbacks, 80-90% of the time, the director actually asks me to have dinner. which I think it's a brilliant idea, and that's why they always did that. They always did that in the past, in the old days. Well, and they did exactly what you're telling me, what you told us now. You sit there and you discuss things, and they observe you, they study your mannerisms, and then they make a decision: is this guy good for the role or not?
Absolutely. I was just going to say something important. It went out of my mind, and it's so important. What the hell was I going to say?
In the meantime,
in the meantime, my mind is going blank. By the way,
in the meantime, we'll tell everybody. You want to so Lorene, you guys, Lorene and Jan are in a new film. It's going to be available for the world to see on February 11th. It's called Agramon's Gate. If you go on YouTube and plug in Agramon's Gate, on YouTube, you can see the trailer, which is phenomenal, and you will see Lorene looking not like you ever see Lorene. Every time we see Lorene, she's so dolled up.
Let me interrupt because I won't forget. Marcel Waltz did a film called Blind. Yeah. I'll give you a quick rundown of the film.
They know it. They were there.
Well, no, for our audience. Famous movie star, gorgeous glamour girl goes blind from a bad operation. She's now in her gorgeous home up in the Hollywood Hills. Well, a fan who's a psycho sneaks into her house and lives there without her knowing.
Because she's blind.
Now, Marcel did a lot of what I love, no dialogue. The scene that I love the most, which is the oldest cliche scene in the world, has been done 1,000,000 times, still got me to go, oh! She was in the refrigerator getting some wine out of the refrigerator, and when she shut the refrigerator door, he was standing right there.
Yeah.
That was a fabulous piece of old-fashioned work, but it got me because I knew how creepy it was. Could you imagine this guy was following her around, watching her shower, watching her sleep? He was absolutely following her all over her own house, and she never knew he was there.
It reminded me of the movie with
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn, yeah.
Yeah, Wait Until Dark.
Dark, yeah.
Yeah, it was a brilliant film. I think Marcel did a fabulous job with it, and Sarah French was brilliant in it. I love that. I love that film. I love the concept. I love the story. And you know what the sad part is? You can't get distribution.
Why?
I don't know why. A film that is classically fabulous because it's not shit. If it was a piece of crap with heads rolling off and guts flying out and eyeballs hanging out, he would have got distribution. Because it's in the mode of Alfred Hitchcock. Right. It's that kind of a film.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't understand why he can't get distribution.
Suspense thriller. Yeah, it was terrific.
I loved it.
It was terrific, and we're not allowed to tell how much. But I mean, the movie was made for no money, which shows that if you're a good filmmaker for no money, you can put together a good film.
You know what's brilliant? Marcel is German, from Germany. He did many films in Germany. German filmmakers have a way of making film that is articulate and very, very definite.
And artistic, very artistic.
Very artistic.
Yeah.
So Marcel's got another film he's doing now. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be another stupendous film. Marcel is a fabulous director and producer. He's up and coming, and he's going to be up there one day with the biggies.
Let's brag on Lorene a little. So Lorene, besides Agramon's Gate, how is the roller derby thing going?
What roller derby thing?
Where you play the police. You're the police commissioner.
In the roller derby film. She forgot.
Oh no, it's wrestling. It's wrestling. It's wrestling.
So what are you doing with roller?
No, I messed up roller derby. Well, I forgot what it's called. Where you're the commissioner. I saw all the videos. You're the commissioner of the wrestling women or something.
Oh.
Whoa, future ladies of wrestling.
I don't know what's going on with that. It's Glow, fabulous, gorgeous ladies of wrestling, but now it's called Flow, fabulous ladies of wrestling.
Gotcha.
But I've been doing another film called Sorrow's Way in Branson, Missouri, and also Rockaway Beach. And I stayed with the mayor, Rex Reed. I stayed at the mayor's house when I was there, and with him and his husband. And we had a fantastic time. I cried my eyes out when I left. But it's a beautiful story about a woman who's dying, and she has lost all contact with her daughter. And what happened was she was in a terrible accident 20 years ago, and she hasn't spoken to her daughter in over 20 years, and she's dying now, and she's trying desperately to go see her daughter, So it's kind of like a road trip, and she meets all these people along the way that would have represented her daughter, her son, who was killed in the car crash, and also her husband. So essentially, it's about reaching out and telling people that you love them. And the thematic echo of the movie for me is the bitterest words ever said in life. The bitterest tears ever shed are for words that are left unsaid. And along
my gosh, that's like almost makes you want to cry.
Well, that's what she's desperately trying to do, and she has a very limited time to do it. And it's true. We all should reach out and forget about politics. Forget about everything except uniting, reaching out. Call somebody today. Tell them you love them. Look what happened to poor Kobe Bryant and all those poor children. Not just Kobe.
And listen to you, Miss Big Bullshit Artist. When are you coming to visit me? I keep inviting you. Reach someone. Call out. I call out to you all the time. I reach out to you all the time because I love you so much.
I didn't have a car. I just got another car. I didn't have a car for 2 months. I just got
we would have come and gotten you. Come on.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't pick me up and drove me back out.
Yes, I would. You don't know me. Yes, I would.
We'll pick you up. We'll pick up Jan and Victoria too.
We can take it. You can get a ride with us.
Yeah, we'll have Jan and Victoria come out, and then you guys all come.
Miss Full of Baloney, don't give me that shit with reach out and call somebody.
I just got
reaches out all the time.
I got a car 5 days ago, I just went and got the license plates for my new car.
Listen up, Miss Missy. I love you more than anything, and you know it. You know how much I love you. You're my favorite person. You and Sadie Katz are my dream girls. All right?
If you were a girl, Jan, you'd be in there too, but you're not.
Well,
no,
guys.
I'm serious.
Hey, Ron, have you seen Cyber Bandits?
No.
Are you
with
in it?
I'm playing Princess Paula. I play a transvestite in that movie, so you can get a little feel of the other side.
No. What, you're in drag. You're in drag.
I'm in full drag.
You're going to be an ugly woman.
Oh, we have to see that. Did they make
It's me,
the ugliest fucking woman I have ever seen.
It's me and Grace Jones. She's my girlfriend.
Okay, Grace looks like a guy.
Your beard, John?
What?
Are you shaving your beard?
Oh no, the beard is gone for that movie. That movie was made in 1995, but it's a fun movie. It's
we're gonna watch it. Isn't Adam Ant in that movie also?
It's in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch it just because we want to see what Jan looks
definitely.
like.
I could
with Grace Jones.
In drag, he's got to look like I don't know what.
So hang on, you guys, because we've only got 3 minutes. So Lorene,
Lorene,
what's your Twitter at Lorene_Landon? Is that right?
No, just Lorene Landon on Twitter. Please, everybody, follow me now.
Follow Lorene. Follow Jan. He's Jan Birch. Everybody, you want to see these? You want to see these two superstars in Agramon's Gate? It's coming out on February 11th. Directed by Harley Wallen, who's also in it.
Do people have to buy tickets or what? Do I have to buy a ticket?
No, you don't get to invite people. It's invite only for the actual
Lorene,
premiere.
you're in the movie. You don't get to buy tickets.
Joking.
We're coming, though, Lorene. We're on the invite list, so we're coming to see you at your premiere on Friday.
I hope so.
We can't wait to see you, but the rest of the world can see it on February 11th on video on demand. So we want everybody to see it so the film can be a big hit for Harley and for all the actors that are here with us now.
Sadie Wallen is in it. She's fabulous.
Yes.
And a very organic actress. And Calhoun Koenig is in it. She's wonderful.
We got a lot of people there that we want to see that we like a lot. But
Riley.
you the most. You the most. Now, really seriously, when are you going to come out to the house? On a nice Sunday, we'll have a lunch, and then an evening, we'll do something. We'll have some friends over. Maybe you could sleep over if we find some place to put you.
Can we all sleep in the same bed? Can we all sleep in the same bed?
No, we can't sleep in the same bed. We're not Palm Springs three-way people, believe me.
Well, you try, Ernst, right? You try.
You tried, Lorene.
Jimmy and I are not into that stuff.
Jan, I love that halo around you.
Don't you love it?
Everybody loves it. So what is that actually?
He looks
Jan?
like Jesus Christ.
Now that we've
it's actually a silver plate. This is my office. It's a silver plate. It's a decorated thing, but And obviously now it works like a halo, and I can use it again.
That's the only thing you have on the wall is a silver plate.
Yeah,
that's his halo. Guess what? He's going to get about 35,000 offers now to play Jesus Christ. Everybody that sees this show, they're going to say, "Get Jan for Jesus! Look, get Jan for Jesus!"
I love it. All right, everybody. So we've got to go. We want to thank Harley Wallen. We want to thank Jan Birch. We want to say hello to his wife Victoria. We want to say thank you to Lorene Landon, who's the love of our life. Chat room, everybody. We had a great time.
Jimmy, stop saying that. She's not the love of your life. She's the love of my life.
She calls me. I talk to her all the time.
Yeah, because you talk business.
Oh, well.
She doesn't call me because, she's so in love with me. I'm in love with her. We're afraid to talk to each other.
Yes. You gotta go. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Lorene and Jan, we're going to see you guys next Friday night at the premiere. Everybody have a great weekend. Chat room, thank you. Scotty J, Danielle, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see everybody next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.